Hello there. This is me again. This is Luis, and I'm recording a new video. So, I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to lower my expenses here at home. I've tried to lower my electricity bill. I've tried to lower my water bill, and now I'm trying to lower my coffee bill. So, I noticed that I've been spending so much money on buying paper filters. I have a lot of paper filters for the Kalita. I oftentimes buy a lot of paper filter for my origami. And so I thought to myself, what's the brewer, the coffee brewer that doesn't need paper? And the first thing that came to mind was the French press. It is. So this is a French press. You can find different models and different sizes and different shapes and designs anywhere you go. I bought this model off of Lazada. This is fully glassed. The brewer is fully glass, and the plunger, the top part is plastic, painted silver, and we have the wire mesh here. Here's where I encountered a problem. The first time I brewed with a French press was way back in 2017 or it was 2016. And that was the first brewer I used when I first started. So when I bought the French press, I realized something. You see, this is quite different from the first French press that I bought. And I thought, okay, so maybe the same principle applies, I just do the same recipe. And so I vaguely tried to remember the recipe I used before. The coffee turned out bad. So I thought, okay, how about I try to follow recipes online? And I vaguely tried to follow them, but it still turned out bad. And I thought, maybe this is the problem. Maybe the French press doesn't brew good coffee. And then I realized maybe I don't know how to brew with the French press anymore. So I made this video on trying out, testing, a lot of experiments on making my perfect French press recipe. So I'm going to be trying different recipes using the French press, and I'm gonna try to adjust the grind size. I'm gonna adjust the brewing time, and then I'll try to add some kind of like changes to the way I brew it, and try to find which brewing method fits for me. This is So what I'm gonna do first is I am going to be pouring around 50 ml of water just to bloom the coffee grounds. There's no particular way of pouring this one, not like the V60 where you have to do circles and that. So for this, just pour it, make sure it reaches 50. Then we're gonna use this, and we are going to try to make sure that all the grounds are properly wet, and that they're blooming properly. I'm letting it bloom for a full minute. Um, this is the first recipe that I used when I first started brewing with the French press. This is the first recipe I learned, and I really thought it was gonna turn out great, but it didn't. That's why I'm trying out new recipes. So that's full minute of bloom. And then I'm gonna pour it up to 300 ml, not 250, 300. I'm not gonna cover it, I'm just gonna cover it later. It's now it's now 8 minutes, and so we are going to pour it and test how. We're gonna see how it looks. We're gonna taste how it tastes, I guess. Oops. Nearly slipped. So we still have a bit more left here. I'm just gonna give it a bit more space and try to pour out the remaining. But you don't really need to like consume all of it. Okay. So we are gonna test this one and we'll see if it's okay. It's a bit weak, I'll be honest. So here's what we're gonna do. So in the next test, we are either going to make it a bit finer at the grind size, or we're gonna increase the brewing time. And then yeah, because it's a bit weak, and you can see with the color it's very dark, but the flavor isn't that strong, or so it feels under extracted. We are gonna be adjusting our brew time, our grind size. So we'll first try adjusting the grind size, make it a bit finer. Please watch. Hey. So for the next part of the video, I'm trying a new approach to this. So this time I am grading it at a finer setting, and the reason for that is because in the previous test I noticed that it was a bit, how should you say, the best word to describe it would be it was underwhelming, it was under extracted. So I'm trying to fight that change that by making it finer, so it'll have more extraction. So, well, this is the problem I encountered. So if I'm gonna be grinding it finer, that means that more coffee particles are gonna go through the wire mesh. So what I'm gonna do now, and this is actually how fine it is. So I'm having trouble with my camera here. So basically, if it's going to be very fine, I'm going to have a hard time straining it, because smaller particles are going to go through the metal mesh. So the idea that I came up with was that, why don't I put a paper filter at the top of the French press, or the bottom part of the fine mesh. So I'm taking it out here. It's around 5 minutes, nearly 5 minutes, and I am going to be putting a AeroPress paper filter on top. So the idea here is that when I press down, it's also going to filter out the smaller particles. So I tasted the coffee I made using this method, wherein I used an AeroPress filter, and yes, the coffee is good, but then I realized something. This experiment was to make coffee without using paper, and I just use paper. So I'm now back to the drawing board, and I'm gonna try something else. And this time it's going to be grinding it coarser, but having a longer brewing time. I know it actually tastes really good. So what did I learn with this experiment? The first trial we did like the basic one, and it turned out not excited, wasn't it felt bland. And then for the second experiment, we did a finer ground. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. So for the second experiment, we did a finer ground. But what ended up was that we had to use, or I chose to use a paper filter to take on the finer particles, which defeated the purpose of me trying the French press again, because I wanted to reduce my expenses in paper filters. And so we've now come to the third test. Actually, I've done a lot of tests. These three are actually the ones I thought were worth mentioning. So the third test was that I did a very coarse grind, and I brewed it for 10 minutes. So I kind of tried to balance it out. So I made it coarser, which meant less extraction or lower extraction than finer grind. But by increasing the brewing time, I hope that I could augment it and make it into a perfect blend. So like, um, yes, it's coarser, but because I brewed it longer, I was hoping it would bring out more flavor, the coffee beans, and this is the result. It's perfectly balanced. It's, how should I say this? Um, it's not overpowering, even if I brewed it for like 10 minutes, and it's not undistracted. It's just right. But with this experiment, I can conclude that when brewing with the French press, you can adjust the grind size and you can adjust the brew time. Those two are the most key components when brewing with French press, because with the beans I use, this is the conclusion I achieved. But depending on the beans that you have, you may need to adjust the fine, may need to adjust the brew time to be able to achieve something like this. So what did I learn? I learned that this is the first brewer, French press is the first brewer I learned to use, and I evolved and I learned new techniques. But it doesn't mean that what I learned in the French press is already perfect. It doesn't mean I was an expert. It just means that to brew it again, I needed to relearn some essential skills. And through the experiment, I learned that adjusting the grind size, adjusting the brew size, adjusting the grind size and adjusting the brew time does affect the taste of your coffee, or and it allows you, like, these parameters are the ones that allows you to fine tune your coffee to your liking. So I hope you enjoy this video. Yes, I made a lot of failure coming up with this video, and it's not properly edited, not properly shot, but I'm still learning. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.